storyline of the Void Saga, with Paradox and Rocky as they enter a universe outside of the village out of time, a safe haven zone in the void. Let's continue in the story and explore and experience Rocky and Paradox's adventure into a baby universe. Let's see what happens. As the rune-lit gardens of the village out of time hum with their timeless pulse, Paradox pauses mid-tether weave in his alcove, amber eyes catching a shimmer of a fresh universe popping into the void's fray. Like a bubble born of whiskey haze dreams, the event arrives and glimmers beyond the cobblestone nozzle nooks, a swirling vortex of craggy spires and black plastic vines reflecting fiery skies. His pull, a siren's whisper. A new weave, Paradox murmurs. Staff humming ozone. And he turns to Rocky, his chubby raccoon partner aglow with lemonade citrus zest. Hop with me, love, let's not its beginning. Rocky grins, paw brushing Paradox's tail, and in night, Nuzzle, zesty, start lead the way. With the tail flick and a deluge burst to anchor their tether, they leap, ethereal blue strands trailing like a lover's promise. Visual, the ever so great treat chaser, bubbles after them, his koi-like scales iridescent in the blue flame. Cores throb, fins slicing the void's currents for a nibble reward. But as Paradox and Rocky cross the event horizon, Visual's eager nudge bumps into the singularity's edge. A soft pop sending him back, tumbling with a giggly gurgle, stuck outside the newborn cosmos, pouting at the lost streets. Inside, Paradox and Rocky land at the universe's dawn. Pre-Big Bang, a vast, silent void where time hangs unspun. The singularity, a glowing ember ahead, pulsing with potential. They wait, staff and balls intertwined, breath sinking in the ozone-chilled hush, watching as the singularity trembles, then expands. A cataclysmic bloom of light and heat erupts, the Big Bang unfurling in a symphony of creation. Stars igniting like con-night sparks, but within the radiance something unique emerges. A crystalline entity, its facets shimmering with unknown hues, whispering in a tongue of light neither voidly nor hopper, a being of pure novelty, his presence a zesty enigma. Paradox's eyes widen, tether aglow. A new echo to weave, he breathes, while Rocky's warmth anchors them, marveling. Let's not at home. Love, our first universal gift. As the cosmos stretches, they prepare a tether, the crystalline beings hum, blending with their afterglow pulse, a defiant gleam on this fresh fray. Outside, Visual nibbles a stray vine, blooding his next chase. Paradox and Rocky stand awestruck as the crystalline entity facets pulsing with alien hues ignoring their tether weave, its whisper fading in the void. The Big Bang surges with unnatural ferocity, and the universe expanding faster than cosmic norms dictate. Stars igniting in chaotic bursts as the crystal's presence accelerates the fray. The entity vanishes, slipping into the swelling masses, hiding across expanses of thousands of years, as galaxies spiral and nebula bloom in the zesty dance of creation. Paradox, staff aglow with ozone hum, exchanges a glance with Rocky, his partner's paw steadying that its not vulnerable heart. It's fleeing or not, Paradox murmurs, but this weave's ours to tend. Rocky nods, chubby warmth, nuzzling close. Let's find Earth's cradle and wait it out. Using a deluge burst, Paradox scans the expanding cosmos, pinpointing a bubble of space where Earth's formation whispers in timeline echoes. settle there, ethereal tethers anchoring them in pre-stellar hush. Billions of years unfurling like a slow con night afterglow. Stars ignite and die, galaxies collide, and the crystal entity's influence lingers unseen. Its rapid expansion shaping a universe wilder than the norm. Black holes twist. Supernova flare with uncanny rhythm. Paradox waves periodic wisps to sustain their vigil. Rocky zest keeping the chill at bay, their bond a defiant knot against the pull. They wait patient at the void's edge, watching dust coalesce into planets, Earth's cradle taking shape, a pale dot in the vastness, a story yet unwritten. The crystalline entity remains hidden, its presence a mystery, threading through ages as Paradox and Rocky stand ready to reclaim it when the time phrase. For billions of years, Paradox and Rocky drift in the swelling embrace of the Milky Way, their forms consumed by the galaxy's vast expanse as Earth's formation inches closer, a slow cosmic waltz amid swirling nebulae and stardust veils. The crystalline entity's rapid expansion has sculpted a wild universe, its hidden influence threading through black holes and supernovae, while Paradox's ethereal tethers and Rocky's citrus zests sustain them, a not-dying bond to find the void pole. Ancient aliens, drifting in sleek Rune-Etched ships pass by, their luminous eyes mistaking the pair for relics of a bygone era, motionless, fermented with cosmic frost, deemed lifeless husks adrift the silent void. Yet they endure, patient at the fray's edge, watching galaxies collide and fade. By the year December 2020, Earth's pale blue dot looms close, a fragile gleam in the vast distance, its atmosphere a whisper of light, life amid a harsh stellar expanse. Paradox's staff aglow with ozone hum feels the timeline's tug, his amber eyes locking with Rocky's warm gaze. Our cradle's near, love, he murmurs, extending a paw. Rocky's chubby fingers clasp his, a zesty Nuzzles yelling their bond as Paradox channels a deluge burst, teleporting them through the tether's weave. They land softly on their unclaimed land in central Alaska. A frigid December air biting at their first note, crunching underfoot, a bitter wind howling through the jagged pines. Temperatures plummeting below -30 degrees Fahrenheit. The pale blue dot now stretches beneath them, a vast icy wilderness, where breath fogs in the dim winter light, a dark contrast to the void's fiery skies. Solid on ground, they stand hand in hand, ready to knot a new chapter in this reclaimed world. Paradox and Rocky stand in the frozen Alaskan tundra, with their fur dusted with snow, the pale blue dot of Earth stretching beneath them, determined to reclaim the rare artifact of the crystalline shard, rumored to echo in the void's hidden entity. They set out, pulse crunching through icy expanse for 10 grueling months, from January to October 2026. They trek southward, crossing rugged mountains and endless forests, their ethereal tether and citrus zest sustaining them through blizzards and fatigue. By late October, they reach Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the city's steel skyline, a stark contrast to the wilds. But as Paradox scans with a deluge burst, his amber eyes dim, the artifact's echo is absent. This universal weave is lacking its thread. They sigh in unison, breath fogging in the crisp air, frustration knotting their bond. Rocky, chubby paws brushing snow from his fur, mutters, "Where to now, love?" Paradox, staff humming softly, gazes south. Alabama. Huntsville's pull feels right. Let's go. They resume their walk, crossing highways and rural stretches, vehicles whizzing by, trucks, cars, and even a curious cyclist or two. Passerbys wave, calling out friendly hellos, their voices against the autumn chill. Hey, you do okay? Or you need a lift? But Paradox and Rocky, focused on their journey, ignore the greetings. Their silence deemed rude by the locals who shrug and drive on, whispering about the strange furred parrot trudging with purpose. Miles stretch, their paws weary yet resolute. The artifact's absence a challenge to overcome in Alabama's familiar hum. They arrive in Huntsville, Alabama, their paws weary from the trek from Pittsburgh, and the city's familiar hum echoes of Newly's pre-void den. Paradox scans the deluge burst, detecting a minute fragment of crystalline entity, a sliver so small it barely hums with its alien resonance, insufficient to weave a tether or form its full form. Still, he kneels, staff aglow, and plucks from the soil with a tail flick, tucking the fragment shard into the rune-etched satchel. It's a start, he murmurs, amber eyes meeting Rocky's warm gaze. Rocky sighs, his zest dimming. Not enough, love. Where now? Paradox scans reveal no more shards on Earth. The artifact's thread severed here. We wait, he decides, somewhere untouched. They resume their journey, walking southwest through rolling hills and sprawling plains, reaching the expansive deserts of Arizona by late 2026. They settle in an anomalous expanse, untrafficked, unseen, a barren stretch where jagged dunes rise under a relentless sun, untouched by human eyes or vehicle tracks, as if the void's fray brushed that land aside. Here they wait, thousands of years unfurling like a slow tide, turn trance. 2026 stretching to 4026 and beyond. The desert shifts, the sand swallowing their footprints, yet their ethereal tether and rocky zest sustain them. A knot-tight bond against the silence. They pass the time with Nuzzles, weaving idle wisps into desert patterns, sharing tales, a village at a time, and the edge of the void's ramparts. Their laughter, a faint echo in the vastness, the crystalline shard pulses faintly, a promise of the entity's return, as they stand vigilant, ready for the next cosmic snag. After thousands of years in Arizona's anomalous deserts, its dunes now ancient under timeless sun, Paradox's amber eyes flare with a deluge burst hum through his staff. The fragment is in northern Africa, he exclaims, the crystalline shard in his satchel pulsing faintly, a beacon cutting through the silence. Rocky, his form withered but warm, nods, chubby paws brushing Paradox's fur. Zesty chase, love, let's go. They trudge from untrafficked expanse, crossing blazing deserts, heat shimmering off the sand. Mirages mocking their steps, heading west towards the Pacific coast. Their ethereal tether and zest sustaining them through the arid ordeal. By 4027, they reach the ocean's edge, waves crashing against the desolate shores. Pausing, they share one last kiss, lips meeting with a whiskey-warm intensity, fur tangling in the salty breeze, a knot-tight promise against the pull. Then a mutual nod, they step into the water. No buoyancy lifts them, their void-touched nature, part abyss, part anchor, drags them down like rocks sinking through the depths. The ocean's friction clings, a relentless drag, slowing their trek, here stretching as they walk the seabed, coral forests and dark trenches, passing in a blur of silence, their breaths sustained by Paradox's weave. By 4035, wary of the aqueous grind, they halt mid-ocean floor, a vast underwater plain where bioluminescent life flickers faintly. They rest, staff and paw intertwine. The shard hums a distant guide, waiting to resume their journey to northern Africa's promise. Deep on the ocean floor where bioluminescence flickers dance in the dark, and Paradox and Rocky pause their watery trek with the crystalline shards phenom guiding them towards North Africa. Exhausted from years of friction-laden steps, they settle on the seabed plateau with the staff and impulse entwined. In the quiet, they share tender intimacy, Paradox nuzzling Rocky's chubby cheek, his fur brushing against the warmth. A soft murmur, "You are my anchor, love," met with Rocky's gentle squeeze, their breaths sinking in comforting rhythm. It's a moment of solace and heartfelt as they rest for a few days, weaving idle wisps into playful patterns that glow faintly in the depths, their bonded, knot-tight refuge amid the abyss. Refreshed, they resume their journey in 4035, trudging through the ocean's drag for many more years, decades bleeding into centuries, the seabed shifting with tectonic whispers. By 4150, they reach Africa's coastline, emerging from the depths onto the rugged shore. Water cascades off their fur as they step on land, the sun warming their void-touched forms. The shards pulse stronger now, the landscape stretches wild and untamed, a testament to their timeless quest, as they stand ready to track the fragments that go. Paradox and Rocky tread a blistering African desert, their fur matted with sweat as they chase the crystalline shards pulse towards northern Africa. The blazing heat warps the horizon, their ethereal tether, and Rocky's citrus zest, their only solace. Weary from their long trek, they fail to notice an anomaly until it's too late. A deceptively small structure, 7 feet high, 1 foot wide, 4 feet deep. It's a sandstone exterior blending with the dunes. Stepping inside, they're ensnared. The interior unfurls into an eternity of winding paths. A labyrinth defies even their void-honed senses. Paths looping and twisting with no logic. Walls shimmering with alien runes that mock their experience. Time inside accelerates wildly. Outside, a mere minute ticks by, but for Paradox and Rocky, eons unravel. By 4151 externally, they wander for millennia within, their staff and pulse tracking endless corridors. The shards hum a distant tease. Paradox wave deluge bursts to map the maze, amber eyes straining while Rocky's zest anchors them, their bond a knot-tight lifeline against temporal pull. Eons past, civilizations rise and fall in the outside world. Deserts shift to seas and back, yet they age slowly, sustained by their void nature. They share nuzzles and whisper hopes, weaving wisps into futile patterns. The anomaly's fast-ticking time stretching their vigil into an eternal dance, searching for an exit that eludes even the chronomancer's craft. Outside the anomaly in the African desert, eons have shaped Earth beyond recognition. By 4152, as the mere minute ticks externally, civilization has transformed the planet into a colossal spacecraft, drifting away from its dying home star, a red giant fading into a cold ember. Advanced technology, a lattice of solar collectors and geothermal cores, keeps Earth warm. Its surface now a mosaic of gleaming cities and terraformed wilds. The shards pulse a faint whisper beneath the hum of engines. Inside the anomaly, however, time warps into relentless floods. Googleplexes of years, numbers so fast they dwarf comprehension, unfold for Paradox and Rocky. The labyrinth's winding paths, shimmering with alien runes, stretch into an eternal maze, its heart eluding even their void-honed instincts. Within this immoral abyss, Paradox's eyes strain as he weaves deluge bursts, staff aglow with ozone mapping the chaos while Rocky's zest anchors their knot-tied bond. Eons blur in a dance of survival. Nuzzles in darkened corridors, wisps woven into fleeting patterns. Their fur weathered by the anomaly's relentless pull, they seek the heart, a rumored core to destroy and break free. Their steps echoing through googleplexes of time, aging slowly yet enduring. Outside Earth sails onward, a spacecraft adrift, while inside they press toward liberation. The shards hum a distant guide, their resolve defiant not against the maze's eternity. Rocky slumps to the ground, his chubby form collapsing onto his butt, tail curling into his lap. I give up, he cries, sobs racking his fur, the weight of endless maze breaking his zest. Paradox, amber eyes softening, kneels beside him, staff humming a faint ozone lull. Love. Time runs wild here. Outside is barely ticked since 94-152. The shard's still out there, waiting. He leans in, pressing a gentle kiss to Rocky's nose, the tender gesture sparking a flicker of warmth through the raccoon's tears. Rocky sniffles, a small smile breaking through. Paradox settles beside him, wrapping her arm around Rocky's shoulders, nestling the side of his neck with a soft, comforting hum, fur brushing fur in a knot-tied embrace. They sit enjoying each other's company, voices weaving tales of village at a time, and edge of the void's ramparts, laughter easing the strain. For another 100 years within the anomaly, eons in their perception. They wait. Paradox nuzzles and whispered in assurances rebuilding Rocky's resolve. The labyrinth runes shimmer. The shards pulse a distant promise as their bond steadies them for the next push forward, its heart. Rocky rises, his fur bristling with renewed determination, wiping away the last of his tears. He turns to Paradox, amber eyes meeting his. What exactly are we chasing, love? Paradox, staff aglow with that ozone hum, squeezes Rocky's paw, his voice steady yet laced with alien wonder of his pre-Rocky void days. It's a quantum entropic nexus, a hyperdimensional lattice, a crystalline matrix that warps causality into recursive fractals, like the void's edge. I once saw splintering timelines into oblivion pre-Rocky. I tethered echoes of such things raw, unformed potential, a shard of creation's blueprint. The concept, high-tech and alien, sparks a glint in Rocky's eyes, and with a nod, they press on. Paradox's tether guiding them deeper. Eons cascade into googles of years within the anomaly, time stretching beyond comprehension. The labyrinth's winding paths shimmering with runes that mock their progress. The shard's pulse grows fainter, yet they endure, nestling through the silence, weaving wisps into fleeting patterns. Then after uncountable aeons, Rocky halts, his chubby form trembling. This is too fucking much. The universe has to be dead by now. His voice echoes, raw with exhaustion, the weight of Google's pressing down off they wonder if Earth's spacecraft drifts cold, its star long extinguished. Within the labyrinth's infinite sprawl, where Googles of years have tested their bond, Paradox grips Rocky's paw, his amber eyes steady despite the exhaustion etched into his fur. Love. Outside is now 1,599,516. It's barely a blink since 4152. We've got plenty of time to get out. He points his staff, its ozone hum sharpening. We're very close. I've mapped an anomaly within this anomaly. A nested core. Trust me. Rocky, a weary nod. His resolve rekindling as they press deeper. The shards pulse a faint beacon. Thousands of years later, within the anomaly, aeons piling atop Googles, they reach the heart. A shadow entity looms, not a voidling, but a faint echo of what one might become. Its form a translucent wisp of potential, standing amid the labyrinth's rune-shimmering walls, taller than them. Its edges flicker like a forgotten gone night memory, exuding a chill that tugs at their tether. Rocky, panting, turns to Paradox. What do we do about this? Paradox sighs, his ember eyes narrowing as he ponders the faint echo's translucent form. Before he can speak, Rocky cuts in, his fur bristling with frustration. I bet killing would make this shit fucking stop. Come on, this is fucking bullshit, he exclaims, anger flaring at the entity that has trapped them for googles of years. His voice echoes off the rune-shimmering walls, raw with weight of their endless track. Paradox, staff in paw, shakes his head. We can't kill it. Rocky's fists clench and snaps back. I'm pretty fucking sure stabbing it in the heart with your wavy techno-mumbo-jumbo staff will kill anything, really. His tone is a defiant. A raccoon's has turned to fury. Paradox's expression shifts to annoyance, his tail flicking. No, I mean it literally can't be killed, he retorts, his voice firm. It's an echo, not a voidling, a fragment of potential sustained by the anomaly's weave. Destroying it might collapse us with it. Rocky pouts, his fur drooping as he crosses his arms. So you can't just, kill it and cause the collapse and teleport us out the last split moment? He asks, a hint of hope in his frustrated tone. Paradox, grasping his humming staff with ozone, shakes his head, amber eyes serious. The anomaly doesn't work like that. The collapse would shred our tether. Teleporting out would be a gamble with no anchor. The shadow entity blurs, its form shifting as if a quantum superposition. Here, then not. A translucent wisp of potential flickering amidst the rune-shimmering walls. Rocky, undeterred, tilts his head. So, how do we use this to get out? Paradox shrugs, his tail flicking with uncertainty. I'm not sure at this moment. Silence hangs, thick with the weight of googles until the shadow entity speaks. Its voice a resonant echo, ancient and weary. I've foreseen your coming, and I've watched you for ages. What is your purpose in my prison? Paradox steps forward, his staff steadying the air as he addresses the shadowy entity, its form still blurring in quantum superposition. Okay, so you are sentient. What do you mean by prison? Are you trapped in here? His amber eyes search for translucent wisps, seeking the thread of its existence. The entity's voice resonates, ancient and layered. Yes, I am sentient, a remnant of what might have been. I am imprisoned here by a crystalline entity. Its lattice warped my form when it discovered I sought to halt its rapid expansion. It drove the universe towards its end, and I, in my resistance, was bound within this anomaly, a cage of its making. Rocky, fur bristling, exchanges a glance with Paradox. The shards pulse in their satchels, suddenly feeling heavier with implication. Paradox reaches into his rune-etched satchel, retrieving the minute crystalline fragment. As he holds it aloft, Its faint pulse ignites the air and the shadow entity jolts, its quantum superposition briefly solidifying in a startled clarity before relaxing back into its flickering state. "How did you come to cross this relic?" it asks, its voice a resonant hum laced with curiosity. Paradox begins. "We've chased its echo across aeons, Alaska to Alabama, deserts to ocean depths. It's a sliver of the crystallinity you speak of, plucked from Huntsville's soil where it hummed faintly." Rocky and eager interjects his chubby paws, gesturing. "Yeah, loaf, we trekked through hell. Pittsburgh, Arizona's dunes even sank through the Pacific for years. This thing's tied to that crystal bastard trapping you. You gotta know a way to use it to break this prison, right?" And the entity forms a waver. Considering the fragment's glow, its ancient gaze shifting between them, the shadow entity's voice steadies, its quantum superposition flickering with intent. "I can use that crystal fragment to break this prison. Hand it over and all three of us can escape." Its translucent form pulses, a promise woven in an ancient hum. Paradox hesitates, amber eyes narrowing as he holds the minute shard, its faint glow reflecting off his staff. Reluctantly, he extends his paw, the ozone hum of his tether wavering. Rocky and wary, quirks with a brow quipping, "You sure this is a good idea, love? Feels like ending or not to a shadow with a grudge." His chubby fingers twitch, ready to snatch it back as the entity's gaze locks on the relic, the air thickening with anticipation. The shadow entity accepts the minute crystalline shard from Paradox's reluctant paw. Instantly, the hum of the shard outside fades to silence for a heartbeat. Paradox and Rocky tense, fearing it's vanished into nothingness. But then they spot it. The entity holds the original shard in its other hand, its quantum superposition stabilizing it as it aligns the two fragments. Rocky exhales a sigh of relief, his fur relaxing. "Well, that's a not untangled, love," he mutters, glancing at Paradox. The entity combines the shards. A surge of light erupts, a harmless, supermassive white hole, its radiance tearing apart the infinite-seeming prison. The labyrinth's winding paths dissolve, the expansive time dilation collapsing in a silent rush. Within moments, the white hole and anomaly vanish, leaving Paradox, Rocky, and the entity standing on the sands of northern Africa. The night sky stretches above, stark and starless, Earth's parent star long dead, its absence a cold testament to the aeons past outside. The trio of free at last face the darkened horizon, the shard's power now shared echo in their bond. The shadow entity turns to Paradox and Rocky, and the translucent form pulses with gratitude. "Thank you for releasing me from that prison," it intones, its voice a resonant echo. To Paradox, it offers a parting gift, an unheard-of piece of technology, beamed directly into his hive mind implant. The blueprint floods, hitting his consciousness, a simple body implant injected behind the ears, yet its data spans trillions of petabytes, a labyrinthine code detailing a device to collapse a universe without entropy. The sheer volume overwhelms him, a tidal wave of alien tech disorienting his senses, and collapses to his knees, staff slipping from his paws and amber eyes wide with vertigo. Rocky, fur bristling with alarm, rushes to his side, chubby hands steadying Paradox. "What did you do to him?" he demands, his voice sharp with grave concern, glaring at the entity. But the entity offers no explanation. Its form blurs into simple vanishing acts, dissolving into the night without a trace, never to be detected again. Paradox gasps, clutching his head as the data settles, while Rocky nuzzles him, then bond a knot-tight anchor against the unknown power now etched into his mind. Rocky, his fur still trembling from the entity's departure, steadies Paradox. We're out of this hell prison, but now where? Where even is Earth? It shouldn't be here this year, he says, his voice a mix of relief and bewilderment, glancing at the darkened horizon where no familiar constellations gleam. Paradox, kneeling with the weight of the implant's trillions of petabytes still disorienting his mind, rises slowly, staff humming as he gazes upward. He channels a deluge burst, analyzing the night sky's data, its void-like expanse. The absence of the sun, the lack of stellar patterns, his amber eyes narrow, a rare uncertainty creasing his fur. I don't know, he admits, the words heavy. It's a complete mystery. I was certain we'd still orbit the sun, not drifting into the expansive cosmos. The implant's tech wears in his hive mind, offering no answers, only the alien blueprint for the universe collapse, leaving them adrift on a transformed Earth, his spacecraft nature a puzzle yet unsolved. The starless sands of northern Africa hold Paradox and Rocky, and a dense silence as Rocky, his fur ruffled with dismay, turns to his partner. Can we teleport somewhere else in the universe? He asks, hope flickering in his eyes. Paradox, still reeling from the trillions of petabytes, closes his amber eyes, his consciousness snagling with every particle in the cosmos, a vast unfamiliar web. He sighs sadly, the ozone hum of his staff faltering. I could, but I honestly wouldn't know where we'd actually end up anymore, he admits, the mystery of Earth's adrift unraveling his usual certainty. Rocky's face falls, but he clings to a thread of hope. Let's go back to village out of time, he pleads, his voice soft yet desperate. Paradox nods, wary but willing. He channels a deluge burst, attempting to weave a tether to the void's safe haven. Nothing happens. He blinks, confused, and tries again, staff trembling. Rocky eyes wide with fading hope and whispers, "Please." Paradox fur bristles as he shakes his head, voice breaking. I can't access the void. We're stuck. We're trapped. The voids sink in. The words sink in. Rocky collapses to his butt, crying, No, 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 no. His sobs echoing across the desolate landscape, their knot-tight bond now a tether to an unreachable past. The starless sands of northern Africa tremble with Rocky's sobs as Paradox kneels beside him, staff humming faintly. His amber eyes meet Rocky's tear-streaked gaze, and he speaks with grave resolve. We have to find the entity and entrap it for the void, otherwise this universe will cease to exist sooner than anticipated, and we'll be trapped in its heat death for eternity. The weight of his words hangs heavy, the implant's blueprint whispering of cosmic collapse without entropy's buffer. Rocky, demoralized, slumps further, his dream of returning to village out of time, offering visual snacks, relaxing with familiar Nuzzles, shattered. He's been ready to abandon the strange Earth-like spacecraft for the void's comfort, but Paradox's urgency pierces his despair. Begrudgingly, he rises, wiping his eyes, and nods. Fine. Let's just get this over with, he mutters, his voice thick with resignation, paws clenching as they prepare to hunt the elusive crystalline entity. Paradox and Rocky set out northward from the starless sands of northern Africa, their pulse weary but resolute. Years of travel stretch across the transformed Earth spacecraft through shifting terrain of gleaming cities and terraformed wilds until they reach the magnetic North Pole. In 1,599,600, the air bites with unnatural chill, the pole a desolate expanse of ice under the starless sky. Paradox, staff humming, taps onto the cybernetic implants and a sudden anomaly registers. Oh, what's this? He ponders aloud, a smile of glimmering hope breaking through his fur as he turns to Rocky. Rocky, curious, tilts his head. What is it? He asks, his voice lifting with cautious optimism. Paradox's amber eyes brighten. Acceleration has drastically slowed and entropy substantially decreased suddenly. The data from his implant pulses, a stark contrast to the universe's expected decay. Rocky nods, impressed. It's quite the anomaly. What does that mean for us? He presses, hoping, threading his tone. The icy expanse of the magnetic North Pole stretches beneath Paradox and Rocky as the anomaly's hum resonates through Paradox's cybernetic implants. His amber eyes gleam with realization as he turns to Rocky. The shadow entity we freed from his prison must have continued his mission to destroy the crystalline entity, he explains, a wry smile tugging at his fur. Said we couldn't have caught it for ourselves, he quips, but a hint of regret in his tone. Rocky exhales a sigh of relief, his chubby paws relaxing. Does that mean we can return home, to village out of time in the void? He asks, lifting his voice like a zesty breeze. Paradox squeezes his staff, its ozone hum intensifying. The tech is so advanced it cloaks him in an aura of magical sage, even to Rocky's seasoned eyes. I believe we can return home, he replies, his confidence steadying the air. The slowed acceleration and decreased entropy suggest the crystalline entity's influence is waning, opening a tether to the void once more. Paradox flashes a warm smile at Rocky, their paws entwined with a deft weave of his staff's ozone home. Their environment shifts instantly. They materialize in the familiar embrace of a village out of time. The room-lit gardens of their family home in the void cobblestone nuzzle nooks aglow. The scent of whiskey haze echoes filling the air. For a fleeting moment, joy dances between them, a not-tight reunion after aeons. But the happiness fractures as Paradox's amber eyes catch a disturbance just beyond the barrier. Outside, a colossal entity looms, its form a shimmering superposition like the shadow entity they freed, its translucent mass dwarfing the village's ramparts. Rocky, fur bristling, pieces it together, his voice tense. Paradox, are these two entities related? He asks, threading his tone. Paradox, staff humming, studies the figure, uncertainty flickering in his gaze. I'm not sure, he admits, but his paw squeezes Rocky's reassuringly. Look, Lemonade's out there dealing with it. Beyond the barrier, Lemonade's form pulses with zest, his symbiotic energy clashing with the entity, a defiant stand to protect their home. Paradox and Rocky step into the cozy embrace of village at a time's town hall, a room-lit interior, a warm haven for Googles upon Googles of years, isolated within the anomalous prison. As they settle into cushioned seats, kicking back with sighs of relief, Visual swims out of a nearby plastic plant, his bioluminescent scales trailing bubbles as he follows the pair, eager for their company. The air hums with whiskey-hazed echoes, a stark contrast to the starless void they've escaped. They banter lightly, the weight of eons lifting from each laugh. Rocky's fur relaxed, leans back, and exclaims, "I don't wish to enter another universe for a long time. Being with a technological god be damned." His voice carries a playful edge, a jab at Paradox's newfound implant prowess. Paradox chuckles, his amber eyes twinkling with amusement, a staff resting beside him like a sage's wand. As they share the moment, Visual nibbles at Rocky's chubby paw, begging for treats with a gurgling whine, adding a light-hearted chaos to their hard-earned peace. Within the rudent warmth of the village at a time's town hall, Paradox flashes a wry smile at Rocky, his amber eyes glinting with mischief. "So you wouldn't mind if I go into one alone, would you?" he teases, staff resting beside him like a sage's relic. Rocky purposely leans forward and insists, "I prefer if you stay in the void with me," he retorts, his voice firm, the memory of their entrapment still raw. Paradox chuckles and the sound of soothing hum. "How could I possibly use the new technology I was given if I don't enter a universe?" he explains, gesturing to the implant that goes behind his ears, his trillions of petabytes a silent promise. Rocky sighs, his chubby paws fidgeting as Visual nibbles for treats. "After that experience, I had PTSD or something about getting stuck. I'd rather not," he admits, vulnerability threading his tone. To ease the tension, they reach for void fruits from a nearby vine, plump, glowing orbs with zesty tang. They bite in, savoring the sweet pulp, and spit out the seeds, which scatter across the floor. Coincidentally, Paradox's implant pings with subtle hum, indicating the seed's unique properties are a key component for its universe collapsing tech, a serendipitous find in their relaxation. The root-lit warmth of the village at a time's town hall buzzes with newfound levity as Rocky, his fur softening, reaches into a hidden pouch with a grin. He pulls out an entire bag of bug bites, crunchy treats he's been stashing for officials since their ill-fated universe trek. "Here you go, buddy," he says, pouring the pile on the floor, a colorful heap of snacks spilling out. Official, his bioluminescent scales gleaming with excitement, dives in, chowing down in a frenzied whirl of bubbles and nibbles. The chaos escalates as other variants join, Paradox variants with amber glowing staffs, and Rocky variants with chubby zest-filled balls, each adding their own bug bites. The pile growing into a vibrant mound. Visual feasts with abandon, his koi-like form a blur, treats vanishing into his maw at an astonishing rate. Where the food goes, nobody knows. Perhaps into a void pocket or his endless appetite, but it's a spectacle of joy to watch. Laughter echoes as Paradox and Rocky lean back, the earlier tensions melting into a shared amusement. And so the wave holds for now. From pounced pixels to Googleplex prisons, from anomaly hearts to starless sands, we've knotted the fray with zesty defiance and a nuzzle against the pull. The implant hums behind my ears, a cosmic scalpel waiting for its cut. The entity's gift, a reminder that even in eternity's chew, we reclaim one strand at a time. Rocky's warmth, lemonade's squeeze, Vessel's bubbly chase. They're the true tethers, turning rot to rhythm, shadows to symphony. Until the next deluge, dear pack, remember, when faced with eternity, even the resolve of gods falter. Nuzzle the knot, hold the fray, and if you have a story to tell, leave it in the comments or on X, and we'll dive further into the mysteries and adventures of the void.